United head coach Ruben Amorim opens up on the transfer window and what Manchester United are trying to do on the day that's a huge boost in one of his top targets in the conversations between him and his parent club at the moment, completely breaking down, and how Manchester United can attack that transfer. How United can afford it, I'm going to get into that with more details coming in from Ineos' plan as well this afternoon. Ruben Amorim has also been talking a bit more in detail about Marcus Rashford, reluctantly and really embarrassing the media from the reports that were out yesterday in doing so as well. We're talking Joshua Zirkzee, we're talking obviously Victor Oshimen as well, with Gold now, publication coming out and stating what is happening with Manchester United and this transfer. Everything else rolled in from what happened after that press conference, and all of the news rolled out into one evening show this evening. Friday, weekend is here, everybody. Normal service has resumed in terms of football fixtures and the schedule. Get your live comments in. Let's look ahead to what is coming this weekend as well, and let's get into, more importantly, all of the Manchester United news. Welcome along to the show, everybody. This is Forever United TV. I'm Adam. It is Friday evening, like I said, so get your comments in, get your thoughts in. Most importantly, please do make sure you hit that like button as well. Make sure that you have subscribed to Forever United TV, and let's get through all of the news and everything that is breaking down with Manchester United right now. Okay. Let's get into everything that's actually happening. I've got news just coming to me piling into me right now, just as I start the show, actually, with everything. I want to start with the situation with Nuno Mendes. Now, this has come out from a French source, very, very big French source. RMC Sports have come out and said that contact between PSG and Nuno Mendes representatives over his new contract has now completely broken down. So any last-ditch attempt for PSG to try and nail down Nuno Mendes to a new contract has failed, and failed miserably, according to the French source and media outlets. It was thought that they were trying to make Nuno Mendes the highest paid left wing back in Europe. They were ready to offer him a lucrative deal, but he is still not happy. As we reported a few days ago, he isn't flavour of the month with Luis Enrique, head coach, manager at PSG. He has missed over a third of the games so far in Ligue 1 this season, and I think he has now realised that it is time to move on. We've got a very similar scenario to Manuel Ugarte and what we've said. Obviously, Nuno Mendes was brought up by Ruben Amorim. It is now clear that he is his top target, top wing back as well in Europe right now, and Manchester United are definitely going to try and get a wing back this January transfer window. Ruben Amorim, in his press conference today, when asked this by Sky, said that we are going to try and do something. Obviously, it depends on, and I think he alluded to this last press conference as well when Laurie Whitwell of The Athletic asked him the same question. You know the scenario. We need to move players on. We need to move players to get the money to bring other players in. So we are looking at that situation right now. We're looking at everything that's happening with the player out. We've covered all of that today. And obviously we've covered the news regarding Joshua Zirkzee early doors as well. Marcus Rashford as well. So it was big news today from Manchester United. First of all, obviously we had the Zirkzee news and him obviously being offered to Juventus and United wanting to get rid of him permanently with an obligation to buy. We had the Rashford update. We've got a bit more to touch on that as well. The Amad Diallo deal. And yeah, Romano has actually just come out and said that Amad Diallo will sign a new deal at Manchester United. Only some small details are remaining before it's official. So, good news from United today. Ruben Amorim actually coming out and saying that United are looking to make something happen in the transfer market. Contract now in place for Amad Diallo, and that looks like it's very soon. Whether you like Harry Maguire or not, Manchester United have made the move and put another deal to bed with Harry Maguire triggering that 1-year extension. He now is settled and done, and that's out of the way. So, everything is becoming clear about who United want to keep and who United want to move out. So that's what we've got to concentrate on. And Mendes, Nuno Mendes, that is, from PSG, is Manchester United's #1 priority target this January transfer window. How we make it happen, God only knows. I have no idea what they're going to do. But still, when you look at what Ineos are doing and all the cuts and everything else, what they're trying to do in releasing the wages, everything that's happened so far is all about Manchester United raising as much money as possible to strengthen the squad for Ruben Amorim. That's what it's all based on, apparently. And that was a good report that came out from the Muppeteers, actually, in talking about what Manchester United are doing under Ineos and what the plan actually is. And when you look into the plan and when you look at what they're actually doing, and this is what has been reported by them. So the cuts that Ineos have made, for instance, are up to 40 to 45 million pounds per year. That's what they are going to save. So when it comes to balancing the books, whether or not they need that money to balance PSR and financial fair play and meet the guidelines to all of that, then that's we will find out. But is that money there and available for transfers? This is just a report from the Muppeteers and going down the finances and what's been reported from their side. And it's interesting to read that Ineos would like it to be 50 to 55 million as well, they say. It's a Jim. Can't say anything about the takeover at the moment because Manchester United are a publicly traded company, so it would affect share price if he did say something, because he has been asked by Andy Mitten as well about buying out Manchester United and being the sole owner. Not at the moment, he said in that interview, and he cannot really say anything else because it's publicly trading, and obviously it will cause massive amounts of frictions within everything that goes on shares, and obviously being, like I said, publicly traded. Honestly, right now, when you look at it, when you look at what Ineos are doing, there has to be some form of plan. There has to be something that is to help Manchester United on the pitch, because like we've said over and over and over again, and Ruben Amorim has been talking about relegation as well. He's openly said he needs to be honest with the fans. Like, everything needs to be geared towards him, and everything needs to be on him to actually strengthen Manchester United. And like I said before, the importance of little snippets of news like Ahmad, Maguire, obviously Zirkzee as well, we're starting to separate. Remember when I did a video about 3 or 4 weeks back now, and it was around Ruben Amorim compiling a list and the profile of every single player at Manchester United and their worth to the football club, and that was going to be in by the end of the month, that being December last month. And then all of a sudden now we're finding out about the players that really are in Ruben Amorim's, let's just call it the good books, and then we've got the bad books, just to ease it in, so you know what I'm talking about. So obviously the good books are the players that he wants to keep at the club that he thinks he could use, that we've actually got right now. The bad players, I think we're finding out about them, and the bad books and the players that he wants to move on. I think that's quite clear right now with the list of transfers. And this is why I said before earlier on, like, you've got the obvious players like Rashford, like Zirkzee, like Eriksen, Lindelof, and Casemiro. They're the obvious ones that they're looking to move on. And then you've got the second level of players, which is the likes of Diallo, Garnacho, and some even would say Martinez in that side of things. So you can see, and I'm not saying that the likes of Garnacho and Diallo are going to be sold, but if you sell the other players, you can quite clearly see that them players in them positions are where United are going to strengthen further down the line. And they are the type of players that United will look for, which brings us back into Nuno Mendes and Manchester United's top targets. Has what Ineos has saved going to go into the kitty, or is it balancing books? We will find out. I do believe that United do still need to sell players to bring other players in, and I think that is still where we're at right now. And Zirkzee, definitely, in terms of his move and what's happening right now, I feel is one that United are banking on. It does seem that way. And the latest update on this one is Juventus director Cristiano Guttoli, I think you say it is, on Joshua Zirkzee rumours. We never discussed with Manchester United about Joshua Zirkzee. I don't know what's going to happen in the next weeks. Man United are busy with their own things. Again, there's an owner of a football club not dismissing the rumours. They haven't spoken to Manchester United. They have spoken, I think, to Zirkzee representatives. I think that's obviously what happens first. United, I think, secretly, do you know what? When a club owner comes out and when someone says something like this, or a director of a football club comes out and says this, then you know that they're not shaking the boat. They're not rocking the boat, sorry. It's just to keep things calm and make the transaction go as smooth as possible. We know that United will release Zirkzee. Damasio isn't going to come out like he did earlier on and say that United are willing to loan him out. Juventus, and we know Thiago Motta is a massive admirer of Zirkzee. They want something different in their attack, and that, I feel, is definitely something that we need to keep an eye on. We ain't gonna get any money for Joshua Zirkzee. That's the thing, and this was my big issue that I said earlier on as well, where I understand the left wing back Mendes, that's going to cost us money. Honestly, with Mendes, I think United will pay high. I really do, but I think we'll pay high in the summer, just so we can afford the payments. I think United will negotiate a pre-contract agreement off the back of a loan with obligation for Mendes. I think that's the only position we're in right now. Look, we will give you what you want, but we cannot afford to give you everything right now. Otherwise, we'll get him cheaper now. I think United will negotiate a higher price at bigger instalments probably, and give PSG what they want for him with 1 year left to go in the summer. I think that's the only way United can make business work. And this is going to push United to the max. And it's going to push Ineos to their limits as to how much money they want to spend and how much money they can afford to spend with PSR. If they have to wait until this financial year is over, then they're going to be in and amongst it with PSG. And probably, I can't see PSG wanting to hold on and let Mendes go free a year later. It wouldn't be cost effective for them. So who blinks, who bluffs first is the question with United and PSG. Quite clearly from them stories that we've just read there, from sources in France saying that Mendes has broken down in complete negotiation. There's not a chance in hell that he's signing a new deal right now. It's over. That's what the report is saying. United are in pole position. He would like to go to United. Those are the reports that we talked about earlier on. He is Ruben Amorim's top target. He has worked with him before. He is a master in that position. And Manchester United will do what they can to make it happen. I feel like this, when Ruben Amorim was asked today in the press conference, is what he was alluding to in trying to make something happen. But also when it comes to Marcus Rashford. Now, I'm going to come into the chat on them opening stories, first of all, to give you your chance to have your say. So please get your comments in, everybody. We have over 1,000 in the room already and over 150 likes, which is mental, mega. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you've subscribed as well. As you can see there, we are well and truly now on the road to 70k. We passed 69k this morning. We're already up another 100 on that, so please do subscribe. Keep it rolling, everybody. We're loving the communication with everybody on this community right now. It goes onto the comment section as well as the live. I've been watching it, I've been looking at it, so I love it. Keep it up, everyone. Let's keep going. Get them likes up. We want 500 on the Friday show, please, everyone. Into the chat we go with a You Got Raw super chat straight out. Imagine you are at AC Milan and you have Zirkzee in the bag, only to lose him to United, who then move him to a rival within 6 months. I remember talking about that in the summer, about how close Zirkzee was to moving to AC Milan, and how United managed to come in and steal the deal, basically. It was some people were saying it was an Ineos sort of intervention, and Dan Ashworth and everybody that was involved in United's summer transfers that made this happen. And they moved to make Zirkzee more money, in terms of paying his wages, obviously, and then giving Bologna more money than the buyout clause, which they jumped at. And some accounts have even said they could not even believe United were offering him that much money for Zirkzee. So, yeah, I think United got taken to the cleaners by Bologna. And, yeah, AC Milan were probably thinking, yeah, take him. I don't know, maybe it will come back around again, maybe for Juventus. But, yeah, good chat there. You got yours. And yeah, you have to look at it in a few different ways, don't you? Diallo is signing a new deal at Manchester United. I can guarantee everything has been agreed, says Fabrizio Romano on that as well. He's very happy with Ruben Amorim. So, yep, more stuff coming out and more stuff circulating around Amad Diallo's contract that Ruben Amorim himself alluded to earlier on as well. I am into the chat. Adam, could you give an opinion on Garnacho when it comes to watching him at the ground versus watching him on TV? Is there something us across the pond could be missing? In terms of opinions, are you watching him, DB, on Sorry, are you watching him in a way that you don't rate him? I think is the question I'm going to ask there. Do you feel like us over here watching the game feel like he is a better player? I'll tell you what my honest opinion is with Garnacho right now is he's a player that thrived under Erik ten Hag because he played him and he thought he was the next best thing. He's better than Rashford, so the fan base were always on board with Garnacho straight away after what Rashford had done and the way that Rashford was mopsing around. I feel like that right now is where we're at with Garnacho. I just feel like there's worse players than him in the football club right now, which is why he's probably just surviving and everyone's clinging onto it. When I said to people in the stadium, and this is specifically to you, DB Cooper, on this Garnacho situation, when I said to people in the stadium, I was told that Marcus Rashford can go. Ruben Amorim's done with him. And Garnacho's the same. They could not believe it. They were like, what? He is the future. I was sat next to Andy Tate, and Andy Tate said to me, like, these could be the next Messi. Some people actually rate him that highly. They do. Like, honestly, I say what I see, and you all know that, and hopefully that's why you tune into the show every single week, because I'm just going to be honest with you. I like Garnacho better than Rashford. When Rashford's gone, will Garnacho take up the mantle? I'm not going to go against Ruben Amorim on any call that he makes because he's the only man that's been in Manchester United in the last 10 years, barring Ralph Rangnick, and we all know what happened to him, that has been honest, upfront, and has definitely said it as it is. And he understands the fan base better than anybody I know. You could even add Jose Mourinho a bit to that because he called out the football club and got slaughtered for it. Only a little bit and was put in his place and told to be a yes man. Kind of felt sorry for him a little bit, but I won't go against anyone. I wouldn't put anyone ahead of Ruben Amorim right now at this football club. And you only have to look at the tweet at the bottom of my screen there right now to know why I am backing Ruben Amorim. Amorim, that relegation is a possibility, but I'm not thinking about that. I just want to look at the next game. I just think it's real important to be really clear with the players and the supporters. He's being honest. That is something that we haven't had at this football club for a very, very long time. And I personally feel that's why a lot of the fans have jumped onto Ruben Amorim's side straight away and believe in him and what he's doing. And it is bad. The football is awful. The players cannot cope with what's going on right now. But we still have that hope and that belief because of what he said and the understanding of the situation better than anyone I've seen. Oddy Grass with a gifted membership. Thank you, my friend. Sorry, I don't think Garnacho is the next Messi. I know a lot of people don't, mate. I know. But that's just what people were telling me in the stands. They couldn't believe it. So, like DB Cooper says there in the question, quickly just to round it up. Yeah, there is a different view. Personally, for me, no. I'm with you a little bit. I am definitely seeing a drop-off in Alejandro Garnacho. I don't, at the moment, think he is the player that everybody thought he was going to be. And I, at one point, thought he would be. I really did. But I've seen what Ruben Amorim has done, and then the real character comes out of these players. If you can be a Amad Diallo and grasp being moved around in different positions, having been predominantly a forward-thinking player, taking that opportunity, getting the rewards in this new contract right now, that is the level that I think everybody else needs to be at. And Ruben Amorim understands that. And it's no surprise that he has built up a relationship with Ruben Amorim already. It's no surprise at all to me. And Garnacho's fallen short of it. And he needs to be very, very careful now, Garnacho. He needs to be very careful in what he's doing. Absolutely correct on Garner. Lacks game awareness, says C-Mix Football. Look, I'm just going to be honest with what I watch and answer that question as honestly as I can because I think Ruben Amorim is seeing it the same way. He has given him his chance and he started him more than he did Rashford in the beginning. And everybody talked about Rashford scoring 3 goals in his first 2 games for Ruben Amorim that he started. Good, but doesn't contribute to the rest of the team. That's the problem we've got. Ruben Amorim, and that actually takes us into the next segment, actually. Ruben Amorim, when talking about Marcus Rashford, he's been very open and very honest as well about this. And he's just said, look, when it comes to Marcus Rashford, I already spoke a lot about Marcus Rashford. It depends more on him than me. It depends more on him than it does on me. He has to want it really, really bad. He's here. He's our squad. He's in our squad. He's our player, and he's ready to play if I decide. He's ready to play if I decide, but he's only going to decide to play him if he's up for it. Now, he was asked about Marcus Rashford in the press conference today, and this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for the media and everything. Remember when yesterday we was talking about the Daily Mail coming out and the Times? No, it was the Times actually that came out, not the Daily Mail, sorry. The Times came out and said that people and staff at Manchester United have been really impressed with Marcus Rashford's attitude in training since he was dropped. And I said yesterday that was bollocks, because since he's been dropped, that was Manchester City. He was then ill, and then he did the interview, so he couldn't have been impressing Manchester United staff. And Marcus Rashford has been ill now twice, because Ruben Amorim has said twice now, because in the press conference today he said he's not training at all this week because he's ill again. And let's not forget he was pictured in Hale with Tyrell Malacia on New Year's Day. So this is twice in 2.5 weeks that Rashford has been ill. But he's all right posting out on social media at certain things and going to other events. There's not a chance in hell at that story that the Times put out, and Ruben Amorim has just shut it down today by saying what he has. He won't be playing for Liverpool. I don't think he'll be playing against Liverpool because he's not trained. He's basically, look, he's always said in press conferences, even when Rashford has trained, he's always said, look, if they train well, they've got a chance of playing. It's the same for every single player. It's the same for everyone. And if they are what I'm looking for, if they have the right attitude to everything in training that I want, then they're going to be part of the matchday squad. It's as simple as that. So Ruben Amorim saying that he might, and people have come back at me already in certain, I think it was the press conference video already in the comments section. He said this actually, it's on the website. Look, I watched the interview, I watched the press conference back. I know exactly what Ruben Amorim said and the way he said it. He hasn't trained. He's not going to be in the reckoning for Liverpool if he's not trained. We know this. Even when he trains, he's not in the reckoning. So if he's not training, he doesn't stand a bleeding chance, does he? So yes, it is going to be 6 games in a row where Marcus Rashford has not featured for Manchester United. And you know what? Well done, Ruben Amorim again. Just keep it up, Ruben. Honestly, if I get a chance to speak to him ever in a press conference or ever get access again, God knows. If I will, I will just, you know what, I'll take the opportunity to just say, you know what, I'm not even going to ask you a question. I'm just going to say thank you for finally being honest. We needed someone who was going to be honest with the fan base, and he has done everything that we've been craving over the last 10 years. Someone should just say it and call it out. And I think it's an absolute breath of fresh air. I really do. I really do. Just to answer a few people's questions from the press conference video earlier on as well in the comments section. I did read through a few of them. And answering the questions, I think it was Graham. Actually, thank you, Graham, for them. We do realise that we need to replace players when we do sell them. You clearly didn't watch the video before, which is where I was talking about that, but that's fine because I know you're a busy man, but that's just to answer that one. Harry Maguire, when his contract, someone actually said I was having a go at Harry Maguire before. I just said, look, he's at the end of his career and this isn't really a step forward for Manchester United. And if you think Harry Maguire signing a triggered 1-year extension, or not even signing it, or United just triggering that contract is a step forward, then you are going to be stuck in mid-table football forever. Look, I'm actually thinking that Maguire might not even be here in the summer. United may have done it to make money like they did with Wan-Bissaka. If they're going to lose players like Lindelof and Evans and Eriksen, if we can't sell them in January, then Harry Maguire is the only one out of that bunch that has got a contract and can be sold. And if they can get a bit of money together, don't think that United won't go for it. Don't think that Manchester United won't actually try and sell Harry Maguire as well. Let's just see. That's all. Yep. I mean, when you look at backing Ruben Amorim, it's like when I backed Ten Hag. I backed Ten Hag for similar reasons at the start, and then he just went back on it all. He just completely left his philosophy and just ditched it and gave up and just fell into the trap. And then he tried to basically pull the wool over our eyes as fans. And I was listening to Talk Sport the other day, actually, when someone said this after the game. Isn't it a breath of fresh air, though, that Ruben Amorim is actually calling out the issues instead of Ten Hag coming out and telling us that we dominated the games, we deserve more from the games, and the process is going to work because he can see improvements, and we were just getting gradually worse. Look, we set off horrendously. This is probably the worst start to any manager or any coach that's come into Manchester United post Alex Ferguson. This is probably the worst start, barring bleeding David Moyes. And you know what? It may just be different because someone's come in and just called it all out. And everything, and he's just laid it all out there, Ruben Amorim. So let's see if this works a different way. Let's see if this works differently for us right now. It might be what we've needed. Short-term loss, long-term gain, and all of that. That's what's important. That's what's important. Let's get through a few super chats. First one, Odegrass again. Thank you. Nacho has played with both Messi and Ronaldo. Mad. Yeah, it is mad. Garnacho has regressed. He played too much football under Erik Ten Hag, and this season opponents have worked him out. Graham, I can't disagree with that comment from Graham. Thanks for the super chat again. And everyone else's comments on Garnacho right now. And we talked about him being open for sale. And you know what? Someone asked me this question. It's like, if the money came in for Garnacho, and I'm sure you've all heard me say this before, actually, but someone did ask me the question, like, if money came in for Garnacho, would you sell him? And I said yes. And it's like, well, do you not want to just see the potential? He has got potential there. And I think, is he going to get miles better than what he is right now from what I've seen? And I'm going to put my hand on heart and just say, he's a great player. No, he's a good player, sorry. He's not great. He's a good player. But he isn't going to work for Ruben Amorim, and I don't see him getting better under Ruben Amorim. And like I said before, I back the coach because he's been honest. I think this is the way that we have to go forward. So I'm backing Ruben Amorim. I would sell Garnacho. I don't think his value is going to get any higher than what it is now. So if the right bid did come in, say for instance that bid that we heard about that Atleti were bringing in, that was going to be a loan with obligation, or they were going to bring in somewhere around 60 million in the summer, you snatch their hands off. You snatch their hands off. That is like the highest, biggest transfer in United's history, just underneath Cristiano Ronaldo. That would just sort so many issues out for United summer, and that would fund a real rebuild because it's 100% profit, and we can invest it in areas that we really need. And you could say, United, no, don't what? There may be a case where we can't get the top targets because other clubs are in better positions than us that are competing for the same players. But we'll be in the reckoning because we have actually got backing and finances there to go out and get better players. And that's what's important right now. Maguire, pure depth at this point, losing both Lindelof and Evans, hoping for Diamande in 2026, Diamande over Branthwaite. The Telegraph came out yesterday and said that Manchester United are in no position to meet Everton's demands for Branthwaite. I honestly see Branthwaite running his contract down and going for free now. I do. I think he'll want to be part of Everton in their new stadium and their first season in their new stadium, and then I think he'll end up moving for free. He won't sign that new contract. I think there's bigger and better things to come for Branthwaite, and United in the position we're in right now defensively is not priority at centre-back. I honestly, I know we need them. I know we need players later down the line in that position, but not right now. Not when you look at the other areas of the pitch. Any money spent has got to go on wing-backs, centre midfield, 10 and 9. They're the priorities right now. And a goalkeeper as well, ahead of a goalkeeper ahead of a centre-back right now. And this is why I'm saying, look, I'm not slagging off or criticising or overly criticising Harry Maguire or completely driving my agenda against him. I haven't got anything against Harry Maguire. I've said my piece and he's proved me wrong the last couple of seasons for what he's doing. I just look at it and go, I'm not getting excited by Maguire signing, by Maguire getting this extra year on top of his contract. Nothing in there gets me going, is what I'm saying. That's all it is. United need to be looking past that. But needs must. I understand it. And he's gone in a year. Or United sell him in the summer. Either way, anything can happen from this point. But United have bigger fish to fry. Amad Diallo is that bigger fish. And that is even better news coming out of that today. Ruben Amorim, I'm going to come back to the comments in a minute. Quickly in there, Red Baron with another super chat. Thank you, buddy. Are wing-backs the most important in this system? Yes. Yes and yes. because they have to be masters of that position. You've heard Carragher, you've heard Neville, you've heard plenty of pundits talking about this. I think Carragher and Neville, especially Carragher, definitely broke it down the right way for everyone to understand. Other people and other pundits have had their piece and said their piece, but there's a reason why they're not doing the analysis like Carragher and probably other ex-players and pundits are doing. Carragher nailed it in his analysis of the wing-back situation and why United need different wing-backs. Two defensive-minded wing-backs don't give you that option going forward and don't give you the width you need to provide farthest forward, like someone coming in, like Gyökeres, for instance, before, who worked well in that system with Amorim at Sporting. He had the backup of the wing-backs. Just look at the first goal in the second half and how Sporting worked that ball down the left-hand side against Manchester City in the Champions League. That shows you exactly where the importance of the 10 off the striker on that left-hand side and the wing-back on that side is how Amorim operates. That's why they have to be masters of that position. They have to be a master of that one trade, not a jack of all, which is why Diallo, the Mr. Utility player, is struggling like hell right now. Struggling like hell. I have got some comments on the Zirkzee incident from Ruben Amorim as well that I want to get into. United Spotlight in the chat says Garnacho will never work in a possession side as the same as Rashford never will. Technically, he's not very good on the ball. Then there's no way he can become a 10. There's no way he can become a 10. Is the story about Victor true, as in Victor Gyökeres, Victor Oshimen, Victor Lindelof? There are plenty of Victors in the room at the moment, so please do tell me which one. Ronaldo was just a step over Queen at 18, dude, so frustrating to watch. I'm not sure. Well, Ronaldo was just a step over Queen at 18. Yeah, he was frustrating to watch, but Garnacho is 20. He's moving on. He's had 30 games straight for Manchester United. And if you're offered 60 million and Garnacho doesn't fit a system, you sell him. You can wait all the time if you want, but again, it'll just be another coach wasting his time trying to get something right out of a player that clearly isn't showing enough. And then what? When he changes him into a number 10 and he's only just getting it and it's still not good enough and Amorim's gone, then another coach comes in and he's changing him again. Look, back the coach. Get rid of him if he wants to get rid of him. Get rid of anybody he wants to get rid of. That's what I say, and that's what needs to happen at United. Keep the likes coming in. We're creeping up to the 400 mark. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you have subscribed to Forever United TV. We are on the march to 70k. It's getting there. We're getting close. It's getting exciting now. Oddy Grass with another super chat says, there's only one brand, Manchester United, by egos. Ooh. C-Mix Football with another super chat. Thank you, my friend. If you're watching this, hit the like button. That's all it takes to support the creator. Great job, Adam. Logical and sensible. I like that one. I like that one. Great super chat, mate. Love it. Dawood says, I wasn't frustrated watching him. He's still piled up defenders. All right. Backed it up. I like it, mate. Leo in the chat also. I really like Garnacho, but I want a top striker and rebuilt midfield. Yep, indeed. I am not happy with Maguire getting 190 grand a week extension. Let's not forget, if United don't get the Champions League, take 25% of that away, and that's what Maguire is getting in his last year. Which is looking quite safe at the moment. So he isn't getting 190k. Unless United get in the Champions League this season. And if he has contributed to that, he warrants his 190 grand a week wages, I would say. And it's easily covered by the millions that does come in now from the Champions League, which is why it is so crucial, United, if they can, go out and win that Europa League and get back in the Champions League, please. It's vital. Shenandoah, I think that's how you say that. Gets Olmo on the cheap. Definitely need a new number 10. Olmo will not come to Manchester United. Olmo's agent has come out. I think I spoke about this morning. In fact, there are plenty of La Liga clubs that are going to protest and maybe even strike if Barcelona if La Liga let Barcelona off with this incident with Dani Olmo. and they let him register with Barcelona and give them more time, La Liga will be in uproar. As it stands at the moment, Barcelona are trying to find a way to finance registering him again. He's a free agent, but his agent has come out and said the first option is Barcelona. The second option is Barcelona. The only option is Barcelona. He will not be offering his player anywhere unless La Liga say that Barcelona have to sell him because they have got no way of paying his registration. So let's leave Olmo alone right now. He's a great player. Yes, he is. And I would take him at the football club. I like him. But not happening. Super chat from BR says, I wish we tried Ahmad on the left wing back for the time being. Do you know what? Against Liverpool this weekend, I wouldn't mind seeing Anthony as one of the wing backs. I do feel like we are going to be set up a bit more defensive against Liverpool, though. I think it's going to be a containment job, and I don't see United getting many attacks. I just think we're just going to try and snatch and grab it at best. But I'm not hopeful. I'm really not hopeful. We'll see. We'll see in the end, though. Ruben Amorim, when asked about Joshua Zirkzee, interesting angle from Simon Stone from the BBC in the press conference today. I didn't pick up on it earlier on when we were doing the press conference coverage. I just watched the press conference back afterwards and listened to all of the questions and Ruben's reaction to them and how he spoke. And it was quite clear in what he said. Like Joshua Zirkzee obviously hauled off after 30 minutes. We all know the scenario, the boos and the cheers and everything like that. Simon Stone asking him, has he actually spoken to Joshua Zirkzee? And does this affect him? And is there anything in the reports going around that he is now being offered elsewhere or other clubs are coming in for him because he's unsettled at Manchester United? And Ruben Amorim did a perfect Strictly Come Dancing sidestep 1-2. Talked about Zirkzee, talked about the unfortunate incident. Everyone has to be aware of this. He talked about all of the players being involved in something like this, or if they are involved in something like this, they have to deal with it. It's just what it is at a big club. It's the same for everyone. We have to deal with these adversities, and hopefully we'll be all right. We support the players like we would every single player. He understands why he was taken off at that time, and just completely avoided the question about Joshua Zirkzee moving on. For me, says, like all the reports we've heard so far, Ruben Amorim not mentioning it. Damasio saying United have said they want a loan with obligation. And then the director at Juventus is saying they haven't spoken to Manchester United, but we will see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Nobody is saying no. And that, I feel, is why I feel Zirkzee will be out of the door, which is why we're going to move back onto the Oshimen story again in a moment. I'm just going to do a few more chats. Sorry, Adam, I have got to disagree. People have lost their jobs and charities have lost funding in Ineos cost-cutting. What has Maguire done to keep his wages? He should have taken a deduction or go. Look, the recruitment that was done before was not Ineos' fault. Ineos have caused their own problems, quite rightly, Paul. And everything that's happened, reportedly, that's saved about 40-45 million. If we cannot get a centre-back in right now because we need to prioritise another position, then they have to go with that. What they have done is just not give themselves any leeway with the fan base. And you're quite right in what you said there in your comment. I get it. I totally get it. And you can disagree with what I said. Like, look, I don't think he deserves it. I don't think any player deserves it. But there is a pecking order and a priority list right now. And I just feel like he needs squad members. And I know it's not the right wage. I know it's too much money. But I feel like they have to deal with what's in front of him and what's necessary now. And I just feel like there are other areas of the pitch that need to be sorted. Don't get me wrong, in time, centre-back, yes. But as it stands, we've got a little bit more to do elsewhere. M20 Dan says, has Mendes not had injury issues? 2 seasons back, yes, pretty much. But that's it in terms of his injuries. This season he's been available all season, and that's what we need to look at. Look, every player's had injury issues in their career. Every one of them. Apart from Portuguese players like Bruno Fernandes, Diallo, Cristiano Ronaldo, like nearly every single Portuguese player. So we're hoping that Mendes goes down that road as well eventually. But yeah, not this season, and that's what we're looking at right now. And let's not forget, he has worked with Ruben Amorim before. I think that's why we're pushing for it and pushing hard on it. Oddy Grass with another gifted membership. And then Tom with another gifted membership. Thank you. If you have been one of them lucky recipients of the membership, please do make sure that you've put a big thank you in the chat to whoever donated it for you. By the way, I am doing my first watch along on Football Talks, our not sister channel, but our other channel. It's going to be the Spurs game against Newcastle tomorrow. So please, I would love it if the FUTV army was across on that one. Please do make sure that you come and watch and join the watch along tomorrow here on YouTube. I'm back on Big Up on Sunday for the United Liverpool watch along as well. But I want to build up a community on Football Talks as well. And I appreciate all of your input, guys. If you could jump across into that one and get along for the watch along. That's what I want. Yeah, that QR code bottom right hand corner, or jump in the description. The link is there. Actually, I'm going to pin that link because one of our lovely moderators, guests, has just popped that in. Geesey with the super chat, thank you. Unlikely Zirkzee moves unless we get what we paid. We can't afford the FFP loss. Likely Rashford or Garnacho for pure profits. Likely loan swap Oshimen, Rashford. Both clubs still pay their wages. Zirkzee will go with an obligation. And that will be a big obligation to make sure we meet financial fair play. You're right in what you say there, Guy. It is definitely all pushing towards financial fair play. And that's important to remember as well in any deal that Manchester United make. But also important to remember that we have players coming the other way. And when you look at what's actually happening with Rashford right now, and Joshua Zirkzee, and then you bring in Victor Oshimen. A source from Victor Oshimen's camp has said, and this has come out as well recently, in the last hour actually it's come out, Victor will move. He may wear the red colours in England. There are moves already, and it is what he wants. Now that, I'm just going to look into that quickly, and that story on Oshimen. And where that story's actually come from. It's come from there's a few Manchester United aggregators putting it out there from the papers as well. So there are too many reports going around. Apparently Goal as well have said, as you can see going across the bottom of your screen there, that's their report. Manchester United will offer Marcus Rashford to Napoli. They plan to offer Marcus Rashford to Napoli in exchange for Victor Oshimen. And that is to fill that void, basically. One player out, another one has to come in. We cannot get rid of Rashford and Zirkzee. We need replacements. Look, whether you like the quality of Man United players or not, we do need legs. We do need bodies. We have to be able to put a team out on the pitch, first and foremost. And whether we like the quality of them or not, we do need to have players there in a red shirt to put out. And we can't get rid of everyone. I understand the need to get rid of players in January because you're probably getting some deals that you might not have been able to get when it comes along to, say, the summer transfer window. And United have to be very crafty here, because let's not forget, there is a chance we won't be in the Champions League. And every single player that we're looking at right now is probably going to be in line or in the sights of other big football clubs across Europe. All the players that we want, we cannot expect just to walk in and take them players. There is going to be competition for every single player that we want. And it's, for instance, Arsenal are looking at Mateus Cunha from Wolves. If Arsenal are looking for him, United can forget about him because Arsenal will guarantee him Champions League football. And United can't. So if United can make a move, for instance, like Oshimen in January and beat the pack from getting him or competing to get his signature in the summer, United will have to do this. And it's why I brought up the story about what the Muppeteers were talking about regarding all of the cuts and how much money that's saved. It's Jim Radcliffe has done all of these cuts and then ploughs 45 million into a player in January for Ruben Amorim. Is everybody going to be complaining as much? It's a question I want to put out there to everyone. If what he's saved, which is reportedly at the moment annually about 40 to 45 million in all of the cuts that he's done, that's what apparently they've saved from Manchester United's outgoings. If he ploughs that into a transfer, are you as bothered about the cuts? Because this is what we all want, isn't it? This is what we want. We want to be able to strengthen this squad. We want United to be paying with everything that we're earning for better players to make us better on the pitch. And I feel like that is the ultimate goal that we've not been doing before. The Glazers have been leeching money out of Manchester United for years. If Ineos saved the club a load of money, but then plough it straight back in, has anyone got a problem with it? That's what I wanted to put across there. And you know what? We don't know what the plans are. They could be looking to sell Maguire, like I said, in the summer. So that's something that we have to think about as well. Let's see here. Chocomoca. Bump up Bruno's wage. Keep paying Maguire a totally unjustifiable wage. Fight and pay for Ashworth. Then fine him only months in. Fire him only months in, sorry. Keep Eric Tenar, give him 200 million, then sack him. Ineos, the jury's out. When you break it down like that, yes. And I think a lot of people are looking at it that way. They have caused their own problems. They really have. But we do need to judge them, I think, after about 4 transfer windows. And let's see. Let's see how many of these players that they brought in the summer survive. We're talking about Zirkzee not surviving. But what about Mazraoui? What about De Ligt, Ugarte, Lenioro? If they turn out to be players that are consistently performing in the Ruben Amorim side, can we really complain about what happened with Ineos and how they spent money in the summer? Probably not. Probably not. But going back to the main point and everything that we're saying on the video is it's like Manchester United now just have to do what they can. Ruben Amorim has said they're trying to do something. Mendes looks like the one top target. Mendes looks like he is the man that Ruben Amorim wants. He is the one that is going to fit that. He's going to fit that system that he wants to play. It seems like there's a chance that Manchester United and Liverpool game gets called off on Sunday. Now, obviously, this is a little bit drastic, but great for United. It's a case of, I think, right now, looking at the weather forecast, and me and Kaz were looking at this earlier on because we were looking at Kaz's game on Sunday. Apparently, the Northwest is going to be absolutely... there could be a chance of 4 inches plus of snow falling in the Northwest this weekend. And we've seen games get called off already this season, Liverpool and Everton. And yeah, there is a shed load of snow coming. And it is going to be... the authorities apparently are now, just reading into it, going to keep an eye on this as what is going on. Because if the snow does come down like it says it's going to, I don't think the game will go ahead. And Ruben Amorim can get them players in maybe into the indoor training centre and work on everything some more. I don't know. But right now, the weather could be a blessing in disguise for Manchester United. London with a gifted membership as well at the end. We've just passed over 500 live likes, which is crazy brilliant. Thank you, everybody, as well. Keep subscribing as well, everyone. We're on the march. We passed 69,000 this morning and some right now. We are motoring on the subscribers. We are growing, everybody. I absolutely love this and want to say again, massive, massive thank you to you all for getting behind the channel, subscribing, pushing the channel out, sharing. We did just get our December numbers from YouTube sent across. The amount of shares, comments, likes and everything that have come onto the channel have been absolutely immense, mind-blowing. Honestly, absolutely brilliant numbers. You would not believe it, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it. And to have you guys along, then yes, it has been brilliant. The community is immense. I just want to ask you one favour. Please do join us tomorrow for the watch along on Football Talks. That's my other channel where I talk about other Premier League stuff that I've just started. I want to build a different type of community there, but I'd love to take the FUTV army over there as well. So if you get a chance, just jump in, have a little chat with us. We're doing a watch along on YouTube. We do have another watch along platform for FUTV, which is called Big Up, and I'm working both of them now. So please do get involved. Please do jump across to the watch along tomorrow, everybody. It would be massively appreciated. And yeah, we can have a ball. We can have a ball and we can watch probably some decent football because Spurs against Newcastle is the game we're doing and it's going to probably be a good one. Hopefully. And I'm doing that one because I'm scared we might not have a game to watch on Sunday. So let's see. Let's see, shall we? But yes, that pretty much finishes the show, everyone. Thank you so much. It has been a brilliant one. Again, Friday nights, the weekend is here, everybody. Get your comments in after the live is finished. Give the video a like on the way out. We may even get over 600 live likes, which would be mental. Please hit the subscribe button, everyone. Much appreciated. I'll see you in the morning, 8 o'clock. Have a great evening. Be safe, everyone. The weather coming over into England in particular is not going to be nice over the weekend. So wherever you're going, please be safe, travel safe. Don't travel if you don't need to. Hopefully you're all right. And that's my good sort of wish for the weekend for everyone. Hopefully we'll be talking about football at weekend and everything isn't called off. But if it is, we're still going to be here on FUTV to keep you entertained either way. Have a great Friday night, everybody. I will see you all tomorrow.